Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 4, and today we're taking a look at the 2019 McLaren 720S Spider. Now this was introduced in 2018, a year after the coupe, and due to the structure of the monocoque chassis, there was actually no need for additional bracing on this car. So unlike other convertible cars that have been switched from a coupe or a standard hardtop, this didn't really have any extra bracing, so weight wise it's not massively heavier over the standard car. The only reason it does have any extra weight is due to the retractable roof system and a little bit of extra bodywork, the rear buttresses for instance, that are in addition. So yeah, as a result this only weighs 207 pounds more than the standard version, weighing in at 3,157 pounds, which isn't all that much of a weight increase, quite frankly, because there are other convertibles on this game that are significantly heavier than their standard counterparts. And yeah, you have to admit, well, I certainly do, that this looks a whole lot better than the standard 720S. To be honest, I really do like the look of it, and yeah, this is what I would consider the first McLaren to actually be a car that stands out from the crowd, and yeah, is a looker in pretty much every regard. And yeah, it's still got the good elements of the original car, with the exhaust being high up above the license plate, and yeah, it's got a generally good looking shape, and yeah, overall now it looks epic, quite frankly, all due to the roof being down, which, you know, not all convertibles over their hardtop counterparts are better looking, but this certainly is. And yeah, it's nice to know that they've even been able to keep the weight reasonably low in comparison to the hardtop. But yeah, that additional weight is obviously not going to help in terms of performance, but once we get out there you'll see that the performance on this isn't too shabby in comparison to the hardtop. And yeah, it shares the same engine as well as the hardtop, 4 litre twin turbocharged V8, producing 710 horsepower and 567 pounds-feet of torque. So yeah, still a really powerful car, and yeah, it's all only difference really is that additional weight. But if you're in the area for a really good looking car that is still stupidly quick, then yeah, this is the one to go for over the hardtop, quite frankly. And yeah, still got a little bit of boot space in the front if you so need it. But yeah, it is the roof that is the big thing. So I'll show you it going up before we go onto the open road. So yeah, it's quicker than the 650S Spider, which is also on this game in terms of getting the roof back up. And there we go. So yeah, no massive significance difference in terms of looks when the hardtop is up, but you can still see those rear buttresses there, and the centre window, which is actually retractable as well if you need it to be. But nonetheless, let's get out onto the open road and just see what the difference is between this and the hardtop. So yeah, I have to admit that I have gradually grown to liking the 720S quite a fair bit, and with the roof down, yeah, I really do rather like it, because my one big criticism of McLaren's has been that they just, in terms of looks, haven't been, you know, they don't really have that wow factor going for them. 720S did get to that point with the coupe version in some regards, but this Spider version has put it over the edge really into a yeah, properly good looking mid-engined supercar territory, quite frankly. And yeah, even though it does have that additional weight, the performance is not all that bad in comparison to the hardtop. 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds, 0 to 105.715 seconds, and it going to a top speed of 199 miles an hour. Now the hardtop can do 0 to 60 in 2.813 seconds, so it's less than 0.1 of a second quicker than this. 0 to 105.5 seconds, so that's just over 0.2 of a second quicker than this. And that car can do 212 miles an hour. Then, so yeah, that's the only major difference. But you're never really going to be able to get up to 212 miles an hour on a normal road, and even on most tracks, you would never be able to get up to that. So the speed really isn't a major difference. There is some slight handling issues over the standard version, as you saw there. I did spin out really rather easily, which isn't all that commonplace with the hardtop, and I can only imagine it's because there's probably a little bit of extra weight at the rear now with that retractable roof system that has added majority of the weight to this car, so yeah, oversteering might well be a little bit more of an issue, but it still has the really good handling that the standard car has, really good brakes, and yeah, good steering, good responsiveness. It's really quick to steer, and at the end of the day, even though it is heavier than the hardtop, it's still lighter than a lot of other mid-engine rear-wheel drive supercars or hypercars. So yeah, on the whole, it's just all about getting used to the difference in handling, which is only slight, and then enjoying the rest of it, quite frankly, because yeah, the looks are a lot better, and I imagine when you're owning this for real, you would be able to enjoy the engine noise a whole lot better as well, which on the hardtop does sound quite muted when you're inside the cockpit, but in this, yeah, you can hear it a lot better. So yeah, really good car, really. It's just a shame that it had to be a heavier version of another good car for me to really rather appreciate the looks of this vehicle, but nonetheless, it is still a good looking car, and yeah, it still retains 99% of the enjoyment that this hardtop has in terms of handling and performance. So yeah, it's a real no-brainer really. If you want a better looking car than the coupe, and you want the same kind of power and the same kind of speed and handling, then this is a car to go for. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.